Today we want to talk about your land documents, your house documents. When I say documents, I mean titles. This land you are buying or you want to buy, do you know the title? This house you are buying or that house you bought already, do you know the title? It is very overwhelming the way people go into properties without learning the details of property purchase and their identity and their legality. That is why I have decided to use this opportunity to train you, my clients and interested ones, and for you to help me train others about land titles. If you buy a property or you want to buy a property that somebody has presented to you, a land, a house, just ask what is the title. Let me give you a list of titles that are acceptable, all right? And I'm going to give it to you from the least to the highest. So the first one is freehold. When you have a land that says freehold, it means that land is free from government holding. Government does not have any hold on that land. They do not have any plans to use that land for anything. Remember, the land of each state or each country belongs to the government of the state or the country. So the particular one that you want to buy, that it is freehold because you don't have any hands on it, so you can buy it. However, if you buy a land of freehold, do not go and sit down. Just make sure you do some other work. Get your survey. In fact, when you want to buy land, you usually have a provisional survey. That survey is for you. They have earmarked a particular part of the land for you. Then you go ahead and let government know about it by registering that survey. That is what people call the red copy. So you get your red copy. Now I'm telling you that registered survey is higher than freehold, and I'm also telling you that provisional survey is higher than freehold. Provisional survey, then registered survey. I've mentioned 3 titles right now. So after the registered survey, you can now use that registered survey to go ahead and get a C of O, which is a certificate of occupancy. It is only when you present to your registered survey that the government of the area can give you a certificate. Do you get it now? But with freehold, you can't get a certificate because there is nothing to show that this particular piece of land is yours, that you have interest on it. Now, before you get to certificate of occupancy, sometimes you will need to get an excision. This excision does not come to you as an individual. It comes to the community where you are buying that property. But if you are buying a property from that community, the property you're going to buy will have an excision. So in that property that has an excision, you buy your own and get your own documents, your own survey, and then proceed with it to go for your C of O. Get the point clear. Let me rehearse. Number 1, you can buy a freehold land. That means this land is free from government encumbrances. It's free from government holding. All right? You can use it because some areas of land, they will not put any samples there, but government in their blueprint, they have something they want to use that place for. Maybe in future they want to use it for an airport or for any other project. Okay? So when it is free, you can buy it. But when you buy, please do not go and sleep. Go to work. Go and get your other documents. For instance, you want to buy a piece of land that is freehold, is fine. But then there's another certificate, there's another document that is better than freehold. Because a freehold land is the one that can have, or that you can process and have an excision. Okay, the whole of this vast area is freehold. Government do not have any intention on it. But there's a particular part you want. You go and get a village excision from it. You will go and get a village excision from it. Of course, the owners of that village will testify that this part of land is our ancestral inheritance, and this particular part we want you government to excise it for us so that we can use it. So you get an area that has government excision, that is government approved village excision. So in that part of the land, you can now buy your own, pay to the village people, the owners, the traditional inherited people of that land, pay to them, and then do your survey, do your provisional survey, and do your register survey. Then go ahead a step further to tender that document to the government to get your C of O. Then if you have done all these processes, you bought that land, all right, and then C of O lasts for 99 years. Within these 99 years, you want to sell this document, you want to sell this land to somebody else. You will carry this document to the government again and get their governor's consent for you to transfer this ownership which they have given to you to another person. That is when you get government allocation. Governor's consent. So you cannot get a document that has governor's consent if you do not have a C of O already existing on that land. That is why I tell people, if you buy a land that has C of O already, it's fine. Just go ahead and get a governor's consent so that the property will be transferred to your name. Then if you have a document that has a land that has governor's consent, it's also fine. Okay, you can also have another governor's consent on the land. Yes, but for us that were into real estate, we do register our company as a registered real estate organization. We go all out to do all these processes of documentation for you. We get a land that is freehold, we process our documents, we get registered survey on it, we process it again, we get a C of O on it, and we start selling to you. Remember, this C of O covers the entire estate that we are selling for you. I'm just giving you one piece, a plot, 2, 6 plots inside this particular property that has this C of O. So the C of O is bearing, you are a partaker in the C of O, because we as an estate company have it as a vast area of land bearing our name, and you as a member of this estate is already covered with this particular C of O, because the C of O is bearing the name of the estate. Do you see why it is advantageous for you to buy from a good real estate company? We will only charge you for services that you render. Even the money you pay for this documentation is by far less than the money you pay if you went out of your way to the street, bought a piece of land or two, and go to process the documentation to the government. We do it collectively, it gets cheaper for you, and then you just have to remit your money. So that is the information about your land documents. I would advise that you always go for land in a registered real estate company. Even if they have not proceeded up to C of O, they will surely get there, because they need their property to be properly recognized by the government. So some of the land we have, you hear C of O in view, because it's already in process. All right. So there's sometimes to remember that sometimes you see government allocated C of O. Some areas government will just take over a place after some time, maybe a freehold area, they decide to take over that place to do a particular project, and then people are living there as natives, from their ancestral inheritance. That is where they belong. So the government will move them to a particular place. That place that the government is moving them to, they are already certified, they have C of O, it's from government to them, so all the documentation is made genuine by the government himself. So in case you want to go into that place to buy a piece of that place from the current residents of that place, the document of that land is allocated C of O. All right. So sometimes you hear these things, I want it to be clearer to you. All right. If you hear any government allocated C of O or allocation C of O, it means that place was, people there were relocated, and government automatically gives them C of O. All right. So this is it for now. Whatever documentation you hear about C of O, that is the peak of it. Or you hear governor's consent is also the peak of it. Please, when you want to buy property, make a search. Do not go and buy your land or your house on a piece of land that is having government interest. Government can get up tomorrow and bring bulldozer into that place and demolish anything because it is their property. It is not government's fault. People will start raining abuses on government. No, it is you that refuse to do what we call due diligence on that property that is to blame. You should search. Use the services of a renowned surveyor, the one that works directly under the state government, not the touts that parade around, that just looking for money. Go through a registered surveyor that works through the government and get that property searched. They'll come and get the coordinates of the property and search it to see whether it is free from government intentions. Then when they say it's free, you can go ahead and buy. But we do take away all this stress from you. We do take all this stress away from you. So we do the due diligence, we get the documentation, just need to pay your money. Pay an initial deposit and then start paying on installments. But if peradventure you have the cash, pay now, because real estate, it appreciates over time and you will be glad you did. All right? Call me, Olive Rich Homes. Send me a message to secure you any property in Nigeria of any part of your choice. All right? Please send my videos to your friends. Share. You see that share button down there? Please share it. Secondly, subscribe if you have not. Don't just be coming to my page, watch and go, watch and please subscribe and turn on the notification button so that whenever I drop video like this, it will just pop up on your phone and you will watch it. Please and please, I'm begging you, support my genuine hustle to help you secure your property with ease of mind. Love you all.